Hello, folks. Welcome back to the Charge Cowboys Sports Report. It is Friday night before the big game, 2 days before the big game. It has been a long week. I've been watching the talking heads on all the channels: NFL Network, Fox Sports 1, ESPN, ESPN2. I don't know about y'all, but I'm getting so sick and tired of everybody talking about the 49ers like they're the 49ers in 1981 or the 49ers of the 80s, at least. The one that team that won, what, 4 Super Bowls in the 80s? Or the Niners that were playing in 94 when they had prime time back there as a mercenary to cover Michael Irvin and stole Ken Norton from us, signed Merton Hanks, and got all these guys just to beat us. They're talking about San Francisco like they're the number one seed. If they move the goalpost on us no matter what. If we would have drawn L.A., for instance, if Arizona would have won, and if Arizona would have won, we'd have drawn the Rams in the first round, and they'd have said, oh, the Cowboys drew the worst possible team in the first round, the powerful Rams. Or if the Rams would have won and Arizona would have lost, they'd have said, oh, Cowboys got to play Arizona again. That's the worst draw they could have gotten. Kyler Murray and company had their number in the first game. They're going to be harder to stop the second time around. Blah, blah, blah. The 49ers have 7 losses. 7 losses. Okay, they're not invincible. They might be physical, yeah, but a lot of teams are physical. All week we've been hearing about that physicality. They have 2 good linemen, Trent Williams, who's not 100% by any means, and Alex Mack at center. They got him from Atlanta. But we got 3 really good linemen. We got Ty Smith at left tackle. We got Zach Martin, and we got Lyle Collins or Terrence Steele that can play the right tackle at a very high level. Connor Williams isn't a turnstile anymore. The only weak link is the center. And this is not the same Niners defense of 2019 when they had Nick Bosa, DeForest Buckner, Eric Armstead, and all those guys. Buckner's not there anymore. It's just basically Nick Bosa and Eric Armstead. We can neutralize those 2. Ty Smith or Collins, either or, will neutralize Nick Bosa. Especially Ty Smith if Bosa's rushing off the right side. I don't remember if he's a left end rusher or right end rusher, but if he's rushing on Ty Smith, the blind side, he'll shut him down. Eric Armstead will have his hands full if he goes against number 70. If he goes against Connor, well, he'll get some help from the center. But we'll get our run game going. You know, we're still 9th in the league in rushing. It's not like we're dead last. Our run game is getting better. Our backs are getting healthier. And the Niners, they run the ball pretty well. They don't have much of a passing attack. Our defense can stop the run. Our defensive line it's a fast defense, but it's a big defense too. That starting lineup of Tank Lawrence, Neville Gallimore, Carlos Watkins, and Randy Gregory, and then you can put a fresh batch of bodies in there with Osio Odigizua, Tristan Hill, Basham, and Dorrance Armstrong. Golston comes in. He can play inside or outside. That's 9 good defensive linemen, good rotation. And they will hold their blocks and let the linebackers run free. Micah Parsons and Van Der Esch and Luke Gifford, because Keanu O'Neal will be out for this game. Parsons and Van Der Esch will be able to handle the run. They'll be able to run sideline to sideline and meet the running back in the hole. Because I don't believe that offensive line's going to push our defensive line out of the way and get to the second level. We are coming out like fire-breathing dragons. And this Cowboy team is hearing all this mess about the Niners' physicality and how they're the most dangerous draw that we could have drawn, and we're in trouble because of how Kyle Shanahan runs his scheme, and their running game is the best of all time. And that's such horse shit. We are still first in yards per game, first in points per game. We are first in turnover differential with plus 14. for the season, we had 34 takeaways. 34 takeaways. Plus 14 turnover differential is huge. San Fran has a -4 turnover differential. Turnovers win and lose ball games. And I believe this game will get at least 3 turnovers. And Dak, in his 3 playoff games, has been spectacular in all of them. His rookie season, he took Aaron Rodgers all the way to the ropes. He had to make that miracle throw with 10 seconds left to Jared Cook on the sideline, and then Mason Crossbar had to knock in 2 56-yarders back-to-back because we called that timeout, and it was going left, and somehow it just hooked inside both times. And against Seattle, Dak was up, playing great, knocked off Russell Wilson head-to-head. That Seattle team was not an easy out, not by any means. And against the Rams, he played a good game too. Just that defense was a different defense. It was okay, it was good, but it wasn't as good as this one. And they couldn't stop the run, and they were playing the Sean McVay offense that had a genius running game and really good backs at that time. The Niners' backs are injured, so that's why they have Elijah Mitchell as their primary running back, 6th-round rookie, and Deebo Samuel, wide receiver, playing running back. He can run the ball as a wide receiver, but we will stop that. We neutralize that, and we will get ahead early also. I want to win the coin toss. I want to get the ball first and go down there and score an opening drive touchdown and have them down 7-0 early. And then when they get the ball back, our defense comes out, gets them a 3-and-out. We get the ball back, get a field goal or a touchdown, get up by 2 scores early. They're going to still stick to their running game, but eventually we keep scoring because we will score. Our offense is not going to be stagnant. You can best believe you're going to see the best version of Dak Prescott in this offense on Sunday, because Michael Gallup going down and getting Blake Jarwin kind of a blessing in disguise, because Gallup's a good receiver, but Cedric Wilson is better in the slot, and that puts CeeDee Lamb where he belongs outside, and we can run a great 21 personnel with Blake Jarwin in the game. Sean McEwen's not that good yet, but Blake Jarwin and Dalton Schultz in the 21 personnel works beautiful. And Tony Pollard with that speed, and Zeke with that punch, and our offensive line ready to roll. Lyle Collins is nasty. He's got that nasty streak like Big E had back in the early 90s, Eric Williams at right tackle. Out of all the guys on the offensive line, whenever they were having interviews with, I forgot who it was, Amari, I think, and they were saying if you had to get in a fight with one of the linemen, which is at least one you'd want to get in a fight with, and they all said Lyle. He's got that nasty streak like Ryan Jensen does with Tampa Bay. We are going to stomp the shit out of San Francisco. They don't belong in the playoffs. They got very lucky to get in the first place. It's a team that barely slipped in the damn tournament at the 6th seed. And to come into our house, we're going to put up plenty of points. We're going to pull away by at least 17. And when we pull away by at least 17, they're going to have to start passing. Because we're going to keep scoring. We're not just going to score 17 like the Rams did and then not score for the whole second half. The Rams are just a collection of big names. They're not a cohesive unit as a team. There's a big difference. You can have a bunch of big names or you can have a team. And sometimes you can pull that off. But the Rams look like the 01 Redskins whenever they signed Mike Carrier, Deion Sanders, Bruce Smith, all these guys to try to make an all-star team. The only team to make that work was the 94 Niners when they brought in all these guys to make an all-star team to win the Super Bowl. Other than that, the Rams are just a bunch of big names. They're not a team. They're all individuals, a bunch of good individuals. That's it. A team wins a Super Bowl, not individuals. So beating the Rams like that wasn't that impressive to me. I don't think the Rams are that good, and Matthew Stafford is an accident waiting to happen. Arizona will advance to the second round. You can put that in the bank. The Rams are one and done, and they'll go and play Green Bay, and then we'll host the Rams. If Tampa wins, and Arizona wins, then how does that work? Tampa's 2 seed, then we'd still play Tampa. Yeah, so Arizona would go to the cold in Green Bay, and we'd go to Tampa. Barring Philly beats Tampa, then you'd have 2 wild card teams that win. Then we'd have 2 home games. But yeah, so we're going to Tampa Bay next weekend. Cowboy fans, don't y'all worry about that. And quit listening to the talking heads about how magical the 49ers are, the best team to ever live. They're not that great. They're a solid team. They have solid fundamentals, but they're not that great, not that scary. The Cardinals are a tougher out than they are. And the Cardinals beat them twice. Big time. They weren't close games. They waxed them twice. And we lost to Arizona by 3 points because we couldn't challenge that fumble at the end and Zerline missing a kick. But y'all be confident. My prediction for this game is 38-17. Our offense is going to put up points, and our defense is going to play stout. And Micah Parsons and Van Der Esch are going to play good linebacking play to stop that run. And then when it's 3rd and long, boy, Jimmy G is going to get hit. We are going to knock his rock off. This game is going to remind me, I guarantee this game is going to be very eerily similar of the first Washington game when we were at Washington. And we just had all these defensive plays early in the game. You know, that Randy Gregory tipped interception, and then Micah Parsons coming around the edge and just hitting Heineke in the ear hole, causing that fumble, and Golston taking it to the house. Jimmy G's going to get hit. He's going to be getting hurt, and he's going to be wanting to get out of there. Our defense is more nasty than theirs, better than theirs. Their secondary is shit. They got Josh Norman as their best cornerback. We own Josh Norman. I know Amari Cooper does, big time. We get that passing game. I mean, even if the running game doesn't get going early, we'll pass to open up the running game. Trust me, because then they'll take that safety out of the box, and they'll just have 4-man fronts. And then with Pollard in there and Zeke not injured no more because he didn't look injured against Philly. I wish they'd have given him that 100 yards. They took him out at 87 after he got 1,000 for the season, but he could have got that 100-yard game easily. I wanted to end the season with a 100-yard game. But we got this. This was the best draw we could have gotten out of Arizona, the Rams, and San Fran. San Fran's the weakest of the 3. And them saying that we got the worst draw is ridiculous. It doesn't matter who we would have gotten. If we would have been the 2nd seed and drawn Philly, they'd have said that's the worst draw we could have got. Because Philly's run game, all that. Just don't listen to the talking heads. They're ridiculous. Half the time they don't know what they're talking about. I wish to God I could be on ESPN or NFL Network and spit our case for our cause, DC for life, and let them know that San Fran is not Goliath. We're Goliath going into the playoffs. We're the team to beat. We've got a better ceiling, higher ceiling than any of these teams in the playoffs do. The Cowboys should be the most feared team. The 49ers are the team that had the worst draw in the first round. Y'all best believe that. 38-17, 3 turnovers. I think 2 of them come early, and they're big. Strip sacks or interceptions, and 1 or 2 of them will be deep in San Fran territory, so we can cash in easy. And Dak is just going to have a beautiful game and dissect that secondary. I'm looking at 350 yards, 3 touchdowns, and between Zeke and Pollard, I say at least $150 or more between the both of them, with a couple touchdowns on the ground, and maybe even a defensive touchdown. 38-17. If they get a defensive touchdown, you probably call it 45-17. But it's to favor us by 3 points when we're at home hosting the Niners. You get 3 points for being at home automatically. So Vegas is looking at it as a pick'em game. Really, that's ridiculous. So ridiculous. No respect. We went 12-5. There's only 2 other teams in the NFL with a better record than us. That's Green Bay and Tampa Bay. And they barely had a better record than us. Green Bay won by 1 point against Baltimore, by 2 points against Cleveland. Tampa Bay had to have a furious comeback against the Jets. Nobody's looking powerful right now. Not even San Francisco. It took everything they had, and it took Jimmy Garoppolo to have the biggest game of his career to win that one. and they just owned the Rams. They beat them 6 straight times. And so the Rams psychologically, after they caught up, were done, even after they took the lead. But y'all don't even worry. Just enjoy this game Sunday, Cowboy fans, because we're going to win it decisively, get ready to celebrate, and get ready for round 2 and go to that nice tropical climate in Florida. Or hell, who knows? The Eagles might knock off Tampa. And if that were to happen, with that running game they have, Tampa's not stopping the run very well. If Philly runs for 250 yards, like Nick Wright said, and Dan Orlovsky, if Philly runs for 250 plus, they could upset Tampa and company. And if that happens, then we get to host round 2. The Rams or the Cardinals, either one. I'd rather have the Rams because Matthew Stafford, oh, God, we whooped his ass once, and we didn't have a defense in. We'll really whoop his ass this time. So, on Sunday at noon, Central Time is what I am. Root for the Eagles. Root for Philly. I know they're our enemy, but root for them to beat Tampa. And then we're going to handle our business. And then when that happens, then we'll have a home game in round 2. And then the Eagles will go up to Green Bay and try to give them as much trouble as they can. But in the end, I believe we're going to go to Green Bay for the NFC Championship game. I don't think the Eagles or whoever is going to play them in the second round will beat them. I don't think so. So it's going to be a classic 90s playoff run for Dallas where we take out Niners and Packers on the way to the Super Bowl, just like we did in the 90s. So, yeah, guys, this is going to be fun. Please subscribe, like, all that stuff. Share. It's important to me. Every subscriber I get helps it grow. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. I'm only at like 40 or 50. Still got a long way to go. I know it takes a long time to get this done. But if I get to 1,000 subscribers, I can make it a monetary channel and make it a little side business. In the off season, I will have ball players, like I said. I do have access to a studio. I'll have Jalen Darden, Ty Summers, Xavier Howard lives around the corner. Might be able to get him on. It'll be fun. And, but that's then. Right now it's playoff time, baby. DC for life, baby. Go Cowboys. 38-17. We're going to put a whooping on the greatest team to ever live, the greatest running game to ever play. We're going to shut them down to under 300 yards offense. You best believe that. And it's going to be a long Sunday for San Fran. And when Shannon Sharp and Stephen A. come into their shows on Monday morning, boy, Skip Bayless and Michael Irvin are going to have a heyday. I cannot wait. Oh, I'm going to be tuning into those shows. First Take and Undisputed. Yeah, baby. Yeah, and then they're going to move the goalposts again. Shannon Sharp and Stephen A. is going to start talking about our next opponent, how we're going to lose against our next opponent, and blah, 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 blah. That's all. Just hate. Let the haters hate, and we're going to do what we do. That's it for tonight. I'll see y'all after the Cowboy game. TC for life, 38-17. Put that in the bank. The check is good. I'll see y'all guys on the flip side.